Have you ever wondered why the woman who once looked at you like a god suddenly looks at you like the living room couch? Still there, still useful, but no longer igniting any fire. She says she loves you. She promises forever. She floods Instagram with captions about soulmates, and then one day her body shuts down like a locked door. You're lying next to the same woman who once craved you endlessly. Yet now the only thing left between you is a heavy silence. And inside that silence lives a brutal truth. No one dares to tell you, in a woman's mind, love and desire are not allies. They are enemies. Love wants you to be her safe harbor. Desire needs you to be the storm that could drown her. The problem is you cannot be the harbor and the storm at the same time. And if you don't understand this, you will forever fall into the trap of being the man who is deeply loved, but quietly rejected in bed. Modern men have been deceived by one of the sweetest lies society ever sold. If she loves you enough, she'll desire you forever. It sounds logical, right? Our minds tell us that the deeper the love, the stronger the intimacy, the more inevitable the passion. But a woman's brain doesn't work like a neat equation. It's a battlefield where love and desire fight endlessly. And the cruel truth is, this love almost always wins, and men are left bewildered, never knowing why. Think of it this way. At the beginning, you were the dangerous stranger. She didn't know if you belonged to her, didn't know if you would disappear. That uncertainty, that chaos lit her brain on fire with dopamine and norepinephrine. She couldn't stop thinking about you. One half-hearted text from you sent her pulse racing faster than any cardio workout. You were the challenge, the predator, the intoxicating storm. And in that uncertainty, her desire burned the brightest. But then, you did everything society told you to do. You became the good man. You loved her. You cared. You opened your heart. You learned to listen, to share, to reassure her that you'd never leave. Sounds perfect, doesn't it? But that very safety, that absolute certainty, quietly killed her desire. Because desire at its core needs danger. It thrives on tension, on distance, on the unknown. When she knows you'll always be there when the future is guaranteed, her brain switches from hunting mode to protecting mode. And in that mode, lust cannot survive. This doesn't mean women are evil or deceitful. They genuinely believe they want tenderness, equality, emotional transparency, and a man who will never hurt them. And they do want those things. But what they don't realize is that their own biology is wired to suffocate passion inside the very safety they seek. It's a biological paradox. The more loved she feels, the less she craves. And you, the unsuspecting man, become the victim of your own success in love. That's why so many good, loyal, responsible men silently starve in their bedrooms. They follow every piece of relationship advice, yet the harder they try, the more they fail. And when desire vanishes, they turn inward, blaming themselves, thinking they're not attractive enough, not strong enough, not accomplished enough. But the truth is, the system is rigged against you. Because in her psychology, you cannot be both the angel who protects and the devil she lusts for, at least not at the same time. Unless you learn how to cross that line, you'll remain trapped in the endless cycle of being deeply loved and sexually forgotten. Here's a brutal reality most men don't have the courage to face. In a woman's brain, love and desire aren't just different. They actively fight each other. When she loves you deeply, her nature automatically pushes lust out of the picture. Hard to believe? Look closer. She desired you most when she wasn't sure if she had you. Back then, uncertainty made her heart race, dopamine flooded her veins, adrenaline spiked. You occupied her every thought. But once everything became safe, once the future was too predictable, her entire desire system unplugged itself. Let me make it clear, in her brain there are two opposite switches. On one side, love ruled by oxytocin and vasopressin. Those are bonding chemicals, making her want to cuddle you, share with you, build a life with you. Sounds beautiful, but here's the catch. When that system activates, it blocks the dopamine and norepinephrine that fuel lust, craving, and arousal. In other words, when love dominates, desire is handcuffed. She doesn't do this consciously. No woman wakes up one morning and says, "Today I'll stop wanting my husband." It happens quietly in the shadows of her unconscious mind. And you, the man who believes the more love, the more passion, get blindsided by a law of biology that runs completely against your logic. Think of it in the early days, when you grabbed her with a little roughness, when your eyes carried hunger, she shivered with delight. Years later, the same move is suddenly labeled disrespectful or not in the mood. What changed? Not you, not the move. Her internal setting flipped from lover to husband. And in that mode, any gesture of possession feels wrong. That's why sexual language is filled with words of conquest and aggression, bang, smash, nail pound. It's not random. It's evidence of a primal truth. Desire thrives on controlled danger. But when she loves you, her mind won't let her see you as both protector and predator. Those two roles cancel each other out. And this is where countless men collapse. They listen to society: be kind, be open, be equal, be safe. They do it all. And the more they succeed at being the good man, the faster they fade as a sexual man. They sit in confusion, asking, how can being good to her make me less attractive? The answer: because love takes up the space where lust used to live. Picture it like this. Inside every woman are two archetypes. Madonna, the wife, the partner, the pure and cherished one. And Lilith, the rebel, the primal, the woman who aches to be taken. But here's the catch: you can't speak to both at once. When you call Madonna, Lilith leaves the room. And when Lilith walks in, Madonna disappears. Most men only know how to summon one Madonna. And so Lilith, her wild sexual side, withers away from neglect. That's why for centuries men split the roles: wife to love, mistress to desire. Morally messy, yes, but psychologically it worked. Today we demand that one woman be both the angel at home and the fire in bed. But we've never solved the contradiction. Love and lust are wired to sabotage each other. And men keep stumbling, never realizing this hidden law. Modern society has built a clever trap for men, and most of us walk into it blindly. It's the trap of becoming the perfect man. You're told that if you want to keep both her heart and her body, you have to embody the ideal, gentle, endlessly patient, emotionally transparent, fair in every way. Never controlling, never threatening, always her safe space. Sounds progressive, civilized, enlightened, doesn't it? But the truth is, this very image of the harmless good man kills her desire. Think about it. Since ancient times, men existed as hunters, protectors, carriers of danger and raw strength. And it was precisely that sense of danger that triggered primal desire in women. But today's culture has stripped you of your right to be dangerous. You've been taught to erase unpredictability, to suppress dominance, to sand down every sharp masculine edge. You become predictable, kind, attentive, and unintentionally, you also become sexless in her eyes. The problem isn't only individual, it's systemic. Pop culture sells us the myth that true love means endless fiery sex until death. Hollywood paints lovers who cry in the rain and then make love like animals forever. Self-help books tell you to be vulnerable, to communicate every feeling, to be her partner in every sense. And men believe it. They follow every step only to discover the bitter truth: the more they love, the less they are wanted. The modern man is like a fighter shoved into the ring, but forbidden to throw a punch. You still carry aggression drive, the primal instinct to dominate. But you're told never to use it. Instead of releasing it in the bedroom, where it could transform into passion and connection, you're forced to suppress it. And what happens to energy when it's suppressed? It mutates. It turns into irritability, cold, distance, passive control, or petty arguments. You fight over dishes or trash. Not because of dishes or trash, but because your masculine energy has no outlet. Here's the paradox. What society condemns dominance, possession, unpredictability is exactly what women secretly crave. And what society celebrates total safety, endless tenderness, is what kills their desire fastest. She may tell you she wants kindness, honesty, emotional security, and she does. But if that's all you give, you are the harbor, and her waves will search for another shore to crash against. Look around, how many good men are locked in sexless marriages? How many faithful, responsible husbands are betrayed by the same woman who once swore, "You're the one I want forever"? Not because they lacked love, but because they lacked fire. They forgot how to awaken Lilith inside her, the wild, untamed side society forced her to bury. Do you see the cruelty? Society praises you for becoming the perfect man. And at that exact moment, you lose the very thing that keeps her wanting you. Men are trapped in a vicious contradiction. Play by the modern rules, and you lose. Break the rules, keep your edge, and society condemns you. But her body betrays her words by craving you. This is not an invitation to become abusive or reckless. It's a wake-up call. If you want to keep both her love and her desire, you must have the courage to resist the comfortable lies. You must become a man with range, both harbor and storm. The one who can hold her when she's breaking, and also pin her to the wall when she needs fire. By now you see the picture clearly. The problem isn't that she stopped loving you. The problem is that she loves you too much, and that very love strangles her desire. So how do you keep both her heart and her hunger alive? The answer is a skill almost no modern man has been taught the art of switching. Imagine holding two masks. One is the mask of the partner, warm, attentive, gentle, the man who holds her when the world crushes her. The other is the mask of the predator, sharp, commanding, unapologetically powerful, the man who looks at her not to comfort, but to claim. Most men only know how to wear one mask. Some wear only the partner's mask and end up trapped in the friend zone inside their own marriage. Others wear only the predator's mask and lose her emotional bond. The masterful man is the one who knows how to switch masks at the right time. This is not deception. It's psychological range. Women need both experiences, being loved and being desired. But they cannot access both at once. That's why it falls to you to create the rhythm to love her with your whole heart, then take her with your whole body. Both extremes are real. Both are you just expressed in different moments. When she's exhausted, stressed, carrying the weight of her day, her mind craves safety. That's when the partner mask comes out. You hold her, listen to her, remind her she's not alone. But when you catch that playful spark in her eyes, when the air shifts and she feels light, then it's time for the predator. You don't ask timidly, "Do you want to?" You close the distance. You speak less, move more. You trade emotional softness for physical hunger. That energy shift is the ignition women are wired to crave. But remember, this isn't about being domineering all the time. If you live in predator mode 24/7, she'll burn out, and so will you. The art lies in alternation. Like music, there must be low notes and high notes. Moments of absence that create longing, then sudden intensity that creates fire. Tenderness to lay the foundation, then raw force to set it ablaze. This contrast is what sustains both love and lust. Call it what it is, controlled unpredictability. Women suffocate under total safety, but they melt for the moments when you catch them off guard. A sharper look than usual, a firmer grip, silence turning suddenly into fire. That's what reactivates dopamine. That's what turns you from the good husband into the man she cannot resist. And here's the part society will never say out loud. To do this, you must allow yourself to temporarily forget her personhood. In intimacy, she is not the mother of your children, not your lifelong partner, not your confidant. She is flesh, desire, the body you want to own. That sounds wrong in polite language, but in the dark room, it's the truth that frees both of you. Because if you refuse to express aggression in the bedroom, you'll end up leaking it elsewhere through coldness, through irritation, through endless arguments. A man who never becomes predator in bed becomes bitter in the living room. And the difference between those two choices determines whether your relationship thrives or slowly dies. She doesn't need a good man 24 hours a day. She needs a man with breadth. The one who can be her harbor when she's weak and her storm when she needs fire. The man who knows when to be the partner and when to be the conqueror. That's the secret to keeping both love and lust alive. If you've made it this far, there's probably a sting in your chest, a truth you've avoided for too long. You haven't lost your attractiveness. You've just been trapped in a game designed for you to lose. They taught you to be so gentle you became harmless to love so much. You forgot your primal edge, and then they left you wondering why the woman who loves you no longer desires you. But now you know. You've seen the paradox inside her mind. The cruel trick of nature, love kills desire, and only a man with courage can keep both alive. Not with cheap tactics, not with manipulation, but by daring to be both the harbor and the storm. It hurts, doesn't it? Because it means all the sweet advice you were fed is useless. It hurts because it forces you to accept that to keep her, you need more than love, you need strength. Danger-controlled unpredictability. But inside that pain comes clarity. You're no longer blind, no longer stumbling in the dark. You're the man who sees reality for what it is and has the guts to step into the gray zone between love and lust and master it. And if you feel awakened, understand this, the journey isn't only yours. There are millions of men still trapped in silence, still believing love alone and keeps the fire burning. They're dying inside sexless marriages, in cold bedrooms, in quiet frustration. You can leave them there, or you can be the one who wakes them up. So if this message cut through to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it not as a fan, but as a brother in arms, pulling other men out of the fog. Subscribe not for entertainment, but to stand with a community of men who dare to be both tender and dangerous. A community of those who have awakened. Because in the end, you either master the switch or you lose both love and desire. The choice is in your hands, right now.